Okay, we're back. Stuff out of the way so it don't cause me any damage. Alright, so I restrung it. You see what they look like now. You know, the strings go straight through. Also, you see that nothing's sticking out. These holes here, got the 4 springs. I'll go into neck angle if I have to, but this one has really super high action. But if I look at it, it's because the bridge is up. He's using 11 to 48, so it's a 48 or 50. I don't know what it is. 11 to something. 11 to 48, yeah. So basically, probably the neck is like this. I'm gonna check it with that I was talking about, that bow. That's a good neck. That'll buzz all over the place. Usually if it gets too dry, now they make 2-way rods. It's a single rod, not 2-way. I'll go into truss rods in another video. And then this is when you have too much string tension on it, which is, the condition of this neck I can just tell by playing it, because if it feels real high in the middle, you know right away. And then the other problem with this, because he probably had 9s or 10s on it before, this bridge is way up. Now Fender likes them up a little bit. That's up to them. I personally, I don't pull up that much. I'd rather have closer to the body. I don't like this angle. That's me. At this point, I already tuned it, so I could see what I was up against. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the neck. So I'm going to look at the truss rod. Now, this neck has a bow in it. I can see it. I tried to explain it before. You can do the old 1st fret where it joins the body. Hear that noise? And if you reach even further, like Alan Holdsworth, there's too much relief. You can actually measure it. If you have a capo, which I don't have in front of me, you can put a capo here, put your finger here, and then put they put like 0.00, 0.005 or 0.05 or 50 thousandths or something. I have to look it up. That slides in at the 5th or 7th fret, and that's the way Fender does it. That gives them a little bit of relief. I think it's 0.008. I have to look it up. I have it. I don't remember because I don't do it. But in this case, I have the neck is like that. That's because of string tension and all. So I'm going to pull out my trusty 7/64. Who would come up with that size? Of all things, yeah. And I'm going to tighten the truss rod. So we're going to give it this way. This one's... Alright. I'm going to look at the neck, and it still needs to be tightened. And that was a lot. That was like a turn and a half. Alright. I said this neck is really good, but this side here is straight. This side has a little bit of a bow to it. I'm going to go with that because I know better. If I try to straighten this side, it's going to buzz like here. Or here. And I don't want that to happen. Alright, so that's done. My tuner again is on the other side of the room. But my ear is like A443 or something. So. Alright, so this... I'm going to show you some things on this tape here. So this is too high, so I'm going to tighten this down. I can see that the nut is high, which is why this guitar is not playing comfortable to me. Right here. Now it could be one of two things. Normally the first thing I would look for would be the neck. Okay? But this neck is pretty straight. Yeah, I'll give it one more turn because I'm a perfectionist. There. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to turn it just a little bit more. But it's still too high. So it could be because the string is fatter than the original string, so it's not sitting in the slot. So there's an air gap underneath, and you can't see it, but I can see it. There's a space underneath the string. It just can't fit in there. So I'm not going to take the nut down. I'm going to open it up. I got my trusty files here. Let me tighten this down first. So we're going to take that. Now, if you got a super long screwdriver, like this one here, this is the... I had good ones years ago, but this is your last, not too long, your Harbor Freight. But Sears went out of business there. I think Lowe's is carrying them now or something. But yeah, I had all Craftsman stuff for years. We're going to tighten it. I'm putting in, I don't know if it's probably a hard angle to see, but I like the long one because I can get it in there. And I'm holding it, balancing it this way. Because you got to push in when you turn these. I'm going in pretty good because these are 11s. Alright, so now the guitar is going to be sharp. There you go, that's my 443 or something. Now what tremolo is when this side goes down, this side goes sharp. Yeah, I'm tuning by ear, sorry. Alright, so I can see these two are okay. I'm seeing things you can't see, but I'm looking at the distance underneath the first fret to the G string. And some of them, this is good. This one here is, I mean, you could take a feeler gauge. This is a Japanese nice scale I got in Japan. This is exactly 0.5 millimeters, exactly. Which is kind of like what I do on the low E string. I usually go like 4.5. But if I can slide that under there, and like it moves like that, something's wrong. I want it to like literally lay on there or be a little less. Too low, again, if you screw up, you gotta replace the nut. You don't want to do that. So if I said before, if you don't feel safe or confident and you have your files, you take this, I'm gonna take the string off. I got my files. If you want it to be 0.5, you use a feeler gauge. This is 0.5 here. So I can put this right on here, like that. Take my file. Remember I said that I have these Japanese files. Really nice. They're exactly the shape of the string. And I'm sure other people make copies of them. But I bought files that were made in China and Indonesia or whatever. They don't last, you know, and you get a good deal because they're cheap. But you get a good file, it lasts forever. But I was saying, you take this, you put that on there. I don't know if you can see it. And then I would file, and then as soon as it hits that, I know that I can't go too low. I can't make a mistake. Now that's if it's under the fret. Now I can see this is actually lower than the fret. So if I did that, I would have been screwed. So you got to measure it. You can, you know, you figure out what you are, and then you use a micrometer. Put two pieces together to get the exact height. Now if you have your regular feeler gauges that you can buy, they have like, they says it's, you know, 40 thousandths, 50 thousandths, 4 thousandths. And then you can build it up till you get exactly what it is. So you measure the height of the fret, go to that, and then go like 0.5. I'm mixing millimeters up because that's what I work in. So that's it. But in this case, I'm not really going to take it down. It doesn't need to go down. It needs a wide, which is another reason the guitar won't stay in tune. Anything gets stuck in the nut, it's not going to work. So I'm just going to take the file, which is the correct file, but this one actually is a little thinner than I need. So I'm going to rock it a little bit. Okay. So all I'm doing, I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. I'll put it in the tape here. Now, don't do this at home. With this position, okay? I'm just going to rock it a little bit. I'm not doing anything to take it down. I'm just widening it, okay? That's all. I just want to widen it. And it's so simple, and this is so sharp. Now I'm going to check it again. Put this up here. There you go. All I did, now I can see that there's no air, there's no light underneath that string. So I still have light under A, D, and G. B and E are okay. So now the nut's where I want it to be. And that wasn't because it was too high. I'm going to go a little lower because I am picky. But you want to be real careful when you do this. Take your time because it takes an hour to put a nut in or more. And if you got to recut one from scratch, you could be in a 2-hour range. So we don't want to go too low. There's ways around it to fix it, but I'm not going to get into it. We don't want people to see those videos. Oh. Alright, so we're going to take the next one. I usually keep them in order, but obviously I'm on tape and I haven't kept them in order. 2. Where are you at? There you are. Okay. Again, same thing. I slide the string out of the way. I'm not doing anything to take it down. I'm just going to open it up. Okay? A little bit side to side tilt, that's all. Okay? Okay? You can put pencil in there later. I'll go over that, but again, it's beautiful. I'm going to do the same thing with the D string, so put my file back in the bag, which I normally do, but I'm on videos here. Alright, so I'm going to take our next one. Same thing. Okay? Now, the reason this one looks like somebody did something to it, so I'm going to be real careful on this one. People put pencil in there. Pencil's been made out of graphite since they found out lead will kill you. Graphite's a lubrication, actually. So you put that in there to lube. People sell nut lube and magic sauce and all this other stuff. I don't know. I use a graphite pencil. Works fine for me. So my G string is the only one left. We're going to run through that real quick. My file. Again, now the thing with nuts are, you don't want it to be like sitting in there, and again it'll go out of tune. The best way you can do it is half the string below the nut, half the string above the nut, which this is pretty close to. You don't want the string sitting in the nut. You're asking for trouble. And all the nut does is just, it puts the intonation point on there and it directs the string. But if it's too high, it's no good. But if the string is sitting inside, it's no good. You want it to be half above, half below, except for the high E and B string. They're going to be in a little bit because they're so thin. Now that came out perfect. The reason was Fender did a good job when they set it up, but they set it up for 10s. When you put 11s on it, the string's too wide and it can't sit down. You'll find out with 5-string basses a lot of times. People change their strings, or any bass, and then the nuts, like the strings, like super high, and because bass strings come in all different gauges, and then so sometimes you got to open the slot, and you're just opening it. You're not taking it down. Taking it down is the wrong way to go. Alright, so my bridge is now down because I tightened it. Some people like it, like I got just a little bit. Fender has a thing they put in there and they set it up and then they drop it. If you want to set it up like that, you want to pull up high, loosen the springs a little bit. But I don't like that angle up. I just think it's, I don't know. I just think it's wrong. I don't like it. So I like the bridge angle more like that. I can still go up a little bit if I need it, but I can't go like way up. I'm not going to go up like an Ibanez. I can go up the 5th on the G string. Now, I'll take it back to the tuner in a minute. Alright. Now this one, the action now, since I took this down, I took that down and I straightened the neck. Those 3 things. If this is fine and the neck's straight, it's up to the player. You want high action, you want low action, it doesn't matter. Those 3 things. The nut height, this nut is where I like 0 frets. You know, 0 fret is the best you can get. I mean, you're not going to get any better than that, but it's not, they're risky in production. So people don't do it. They do a nut and they can cut it and control it better. Even with a 0 fret, that fret's a little higher than the rest of them. People don't use 0 frets very much anymore, but the 0 fret's going to give you the best result. All right, and this one, the nut is well, I have these gauges here, so I can check it real easy, and I have my other one. So I said these are 0.5. This is actually thicker than that, but this is what happens when you're doing a video. Everything seems to get lost. Okay, here it is. Yeah, this is my Japanese. Very nice. It's 0.5, so that's like, yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know, you can see it. I can see the distance between the bottom of the string and the top of the fret. And I want it to be less than this, but I don't want it to buzz. So this is good if you're to be safe. 0.5 millimeters. And then 0.4 on the high is what I use. I don't really need it anymore. I should have set it up for the video. I'll do a video where I use those kind of tools. But now you check the action. I mean, you can do, again, the action's up to the individual. I'm not going to sit here and say anything about that. I try to get them as low as I can without buzzing, and then I'll take it up. I don't go high and then take it down. So all my files are put back in their little bag there. The ones on the happen to them, $90. Nice place though. You get these at Costco or in Philadelphia, Lucia Supply. Gerard Ave. I don't know. Nice guys. They sell them, or you can get them on Amazon. But I would buy them from them. They're a direct distributor. Make sure it says made in Japan, whatever you do. Made in Japan. Yeah. Don't get ones that are made anywhere else. Unless maybe Germany, if they make them. I don't know. But I wouldn't buy anything made in China. I wouldn't buy anything made in Korea. I wouldn't buy it. Taiwan, maybe is okay. I bought these other ones when I in a rush. You know, I needed them and they were like $19 or something, which is like ridiculously cheap.